Hello everybody and welcome back to Blue Imaginarium's Wordplay. Today we're going to be diving into a few poems with the theme of perseverance and keeping going toward that vision and that goal that you have. So stay tuned. Also in Wordplay, I'm going to be doing at least one exploration of the different kinds of poetry, the texture, the feel, the structure of them, because they're all very rich with histories, and I want to dig into that a little bit. It's kind of fun to explore that. So today we're going to be looking also, this is a new thing that all of us are seeing on Instagram and social media in general, but poets and writers taking a piece of AI, artificial intelligent art, and creating a poem or a story around that. And at least for me, I've been doing that as well. And I write the poem or the piece first and then create the AI art to go with it. Other poets and writers, maybe they do the opposite. Maybe they have something comes up and they're like, ooh, that really spurs an idea, and they write it down. So I'm not sure how these poets approach their craft, but I'm going to share a few of them and show their work as well. So again, the theme today is perseverance, and we're going to start with a poem named Perseverance. The author's their handle is chaos.az, and the image that they chose or that they created is this beautiful, maybe like a ballerina in midair, like against a really inky dark sky with like an indigo and red kind of, one of those ballet dresses with the flow and all that kind of stuff, really strong legs, that kind of thing. So this beautiful image, and then the strength of perseverance with the writing underneath it. So again, this is Perseverance by chaos.az. Steadfast and resilient, yet malleable to desire and survival, she flutters like a butterfly, creating cosmic waves in the vast lake of the universe, influencing outcomes and swaying destiny. She dances to the tune of music we call life, each crescendo representing a new tide, a new phase. Her graceful moments are unaffected by the somber notes of tragedy and sorrow. She is immersed in the ecstatic trance of youth, sexuality, excitement, and her creative fertility. She is unstoppable, front in line, armed with her divine weapon of perseverance. I love that. And one of the things I love about that is that kind of that strength and beauty, because they really do go hand in hand, no matter what, they just really go hand in hand. And I think that applies to a lot of things in life, that the most beautiful things are very strong. They're not frail, even though they might be beautiful. So the next one we're going to do is a haiku, Homage to the Lord of the Rings haiku. And this is by a poet. Handle is @cactus_haiku on Instagram. And the image used with this one is a beautiful picture of the Ents in Lord of the Rings. So I don't know if you've seen that movie. I'm a huge fan. I'm actually pretty new to the fantasy genre. I haven't read a whole lot of it in my life, but I love the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Love, love, love. In fact, just spent a day not too long ago with some friends watching all three of them in a marathon session one day. It took about 12 hours to get through all of them, but well worth the time. And so fun. So the Ents, if you don't know, they're tree-like creatures. They're not trees, I think, but they're tree-like creatures, huge, ancient, wise, and really have a grounded sense of what is important and how we all fit together. And in the story, the evil Sauron is taking over the world, and he's just destroyed the beautiful forest around his house, or his castle, his tower, and the hobbits get captured by the Ent, and and they're trying to convince him to go help. And the main ant, Treebeard, is like, that's not our place, humans, they do what they do, and we're not going to get messed up with that. But eventually he has a change of heart, and he decides to call together the other ants, and they do go and help in a very big way. So here is this little haiku, and we're going to read it a couple times because the structure of haiku, it's only 3 lines. The syllables, 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. So 5, 7, 5. And so a total of 17 syllables can really tell a story, which I think is remarkable. So here we go. Treebeard, wise old ent, never is too long a word, rouse the trees to walk. So that middle line is a quote. Never is too long a word. And that's the inspiration that got him to gather the other ents and to go help the world stand up against the evil Sauron. So let's read that one more time. Treebeard, wise old ent, never is too long a word, rouse the trees to walk. So just in those 3 little lines, we understand what Treebeard is up against, and that it took him a little time to realize, but how much of a difference they could make, and that never is too long a word. So that's what spurred them on to uproot and go help deliver the world from darkness. So the last poem we're going to read is one that I wrote, and it is the backstory of this one. It's called All I Got. And in what seems another lifetime ago, I climbed all the 14ers in Colorado. A 14er is a peak over 14,000 feet, and in Colorado there are 54 of them. So 54 14ers. It took me, I think, about 15 years to climb them all, because they're all, many miles apart. It takes a day to drive to some of them. Some of them it takes a couple days because it's just a long way. And the hike up them, if you're close to the trailhead, it'll take a whole day. Sometimes you have to backpack in miles and miles and miles and climb and then backpack back out. So it's a very long, involved process, and I am so glad I did it. It really changed my life, because I realized that step by step, everything is possible. And sometimes inch by inch is all the progress that you can make. But if you keep with it, if you keep that vision, that goal, and believe in it, you'll get to the other side. So this was written, again, 54 14ers. One of them is called Capitol Peak, and it's near Aspen, Colorado. If you've ever been, it's just a beautiful, beautiful place. Most of the 14ers are beautiful places, amazing places. And this one in particular it's renowned for this knife edge, and it's granite knife edge that's like this, that really is like this. So, you're going along it, and if you fall to one side, there's 1,000 feet of distance between you and the boulder field, and probably not even probably, certain death if you fall off that edge. There's nothing to stop you after 1,000 feet except boulders. So I was on this knife edge, and really can't go backwards. You just have to keep going forwards and just hope and trust and take it a little bit at a time. So this is what happened. This is what resulted from that and many other experiences on the 14ers. So it's called All I Got. Oh, and this is going to be in a book coming up from Blue Imaginarium in the next few months, and it's going to be called A Little Book of Hope. So this is going to be one of the poems in there. They're going to be illustrated as well. So here we go. It's called All I Got, and it's going to be in a little book. Ahead, the granite knife edge bridge between peaks. Below, 1,000 feet of air between me and death waiting on the boulder field. If I miss a handhold, if my foothold gives way. The only way through is through. One step at a time. Maybe that will get me to the other side. But one step is too much. Too great a leap of faith in this place that hangs between life, death, and no concern of the outcome. 1 inch is all I can handle. Is that enough? An inch is all I got. Life in the balance. Here goes. So that is all I got. And I hope that gives you a little bit of a flavor of climbing in the mountains, or doing anything like a goal that we have that is, as they say in the corporate world, a stretch goal. But life gives us lots of stretch goals too. But that's the thing. Inch by inch by inch, we can do it. And I encourage all of us to just keep going with that. So thanks for tuning in to this episode of Wordplay. We'll be back soon. And in the meantime, keep going, friends.